understand being a volunteer basketball coach takes up a lot of your time. I've definitely done it for about 10, 15 years for Bankstown Bruins as a young development coach. So I really want to thank you for being here and hopefully pick up some drills. What we're going to cover today is just a lot of fundamentals. So we call it the Super Six. They used to be called the Fantastic Five, and that would be pivoting, passing, ball handling, shooting, and one-on-one defense. We're now going to call it the Super Six. All right, and then the one we're going to add in is decision making. So I'm going to try to make some of the drills quite complex, and we're going to progress every drill. So the important part in the takeaways, hopefully, is start off doing a drill and then always add a layer to it. Make it a little bit more complex so it's actually tougher for them, because then in the game when there's defense there, it just adds a little bit more, I guess, reality when we do it at practice here when it's just a little bit more complicated. So to start with, you're just going to pair up. You can spread around the whole half here. I want you to pair up with someone. You're going to stand about 1 metre apart. Just come this half, boys. 1 metre. That's a huge metre. A little bit closer. A little bit closer. All right. So this is a nice hand-eye coordination drill to start with. We're just going to get in the defensive stance. Okay. We're just going to pass the ball around with our right hand. So nice and quick. All right, as quick as you can. Ready? Stance, go. Around the circle as fast as you can. This is just to start with, pretty basic. Quicker, quicker. Go left, left hand, go. All right, hold there. So I'm going to add a little layer to make it a little bit tougher, decision making. If I call a colour, it means you're going left with your left hand. If I call a number, it means you're passing with your right hand. Ready? 2. Hold there. Hold there. So what was colour? Which way? Left hand. What was number? That's good, okay? The other thing here is continually ask questions. Make them give you the answer, but be comfortable with a long answer. Right, ready? Green. Sorry, keep going. Red. Keep going, come on, nice quick, nice quick. 3. 7. Good, hold there. We're going to add another layer. You're going to catch it, left hand behind your back, pass with your right. Okay, catch left hand behind your back, pass with your right. Now if I say a number, you're reversing it. Okay, so you go from right to left. If I say a colour, then you're going left to right. Okay, so colours left to right, numbers right to left. Ready? Green. So let's go, come on, think, talk, communicate, help each other out. Have someone lead the drill. 3. Red. All right, hold there. So now it's going to add some body functioning, so some movement. Just spread out a little bit more. Stay with your partner roughly 1 metre apart. Choose one leader out of the pair. So one of you is the leader to start with. Make sure you communicate that now. The leader, you're just going to move different directions. Now just one slide at a time. The partner's got to mirror them. So if you move this way, partner's got to mirror that way. Understand? So just one slide. I want you to move too far. You two just might go to there. Now as we do that, this is where it's going to get really complicated. Okay, so listen. Any number I call below 10, you're just passing left hand. Yep. Any number I call above 10, you're going behind your back, left hand to right hand. Behind your back, left hand to right hand. That's all we're going to do at the start with. And the leader, you keep changing direction. All right, so this is where it gets really tough. Ready? 4. Move, come on, move. Leader, move. Make him move with you. 7. Move, make sure you're moving. Don't just go side to side. Go north, south, northwest. Move, move. 15. Don't go too close to each other there, boys. Right, hold there, not too bad. So that was kind of basic. We progressed to something a little bit more complicated. Who found that a little bit tough? Hands up. Most of them. Okay, and it was quite a simple drill if you think about it. But add layers to it. Now, depending on the group you have, you might just keep it very simple. If you feel like your group's a little bit smarter, just try a little bit, make it a little bit tougher. So that's just some ball handling, okay, or just some hand-eye coordination, sorry, more so. We're now going to work on some shooting. So what I want you to do, just spread out. You don't need to be next to someone right now. You're going to turn and face the audience just so they can see your stance. Now, there's a lot of different ways we can teach shooting, okay? Everyone's different, but there's just a couple of little things I want to kind of highlight that when we shoot the ball. Anyone left-handed here to start with? No one's left-handed? Excellent, this makes it a little bit easier. So, everyone's going to have feet shoulder width apart, right foot slightly in front of their left foot. I want you to have your dominant hand, so there's wrinkles in the wrist, and it's like someone coming along giving you a high five. Right, wrinkles in the wrist, fingers point up to the roof. Now your dominant hand, your index finger, knee and big toe need to be in a straight line. So if you look right down now, your index finger, knee and big toe should be in a straight line. Your elbow is roughly by your hip. Put your hand down a little bit there. Good. You're just going to place the ball in your hand there. Okay, your index finger can be on the mark where you're going to pump up the ball. Right, just to help us position it. And then our guide hand can be on the side. Do that for me. Everyone in a stance, stay in a stance. From here, we want to lift up, and your challenge now is to lift, lock, and snap, and you're going to let the ball bounce, and then hopefully land back up on top of your hand. I want you to give us a couple of examples and demonstrations of that. So take your guide hand, actually keep your guide hand on there, sorry. We're going to hold, lift, lock, snap, hold it, ball bounces, and then try to get it to land back up on top of your hand. Ready? Go. Keep going. Go again. Right, hold there. So, why would the ball not land back up on top of your hand? Give me some reasons why.
Enough spin.
Yeah, you're pushing it too far out forward, so your follow through might be more pushing instead of up nice and high. So we look at a clock. This is 12 o'clock. Yep, 11, 10, 9. Your follow through might be around 10 o'clock. We don't want that, it's too flat. Okay, we want our follow through up around the 11 o'clock mark. Right? Or 1 o'clock, depending on how you're looking at the clock. Why else might the ball not land back on top of your hand? Backspin. Okay, so make sure we get nice backspin on our shot. What are our last two fingers to touch the ball? Which two? Two fingers. Yeah, okay, these two fingers here should be the last two fingers to touch the ball. Go again. Couple more reps. See how we go. Nice backspin and a high follow through. Finish up on your toes. All right, not too bad. Hold there. So I'm just going to show you a little drill that we also do just to get the wrist snap and follow through. I guess get you in a habit of doing it. So I just need everyone can line up, come face the wall. Now usually we go to a bigger wall if we have one, that's fine if we don't. You're just going to, and I'm left-handed, right, you're just going to wrist snap to the wall. Okay, now you might take a step back just so we get some room here, because if the wall was high, we could throw it up against the wall. Right, but we want wrist snap. Okay, and then you can catch it. Just work on your wrist snap. You just keep doing that. The other thing you could do to generate some backspin, because athletes sometimes struggle to get backspin on their shot, just tell them when they're going to bed at night, just to lay on their bed and just shoot the ball up, and then that generates some good backspin. Try not to have them hit the light. They don't want to pay for a light. All right. Depending on how the wall is, how high it is, would depend if you can do the drill or not. Right, hold there. So we're going to go both ends. We're going to use the charge circle. I want 3 lines. One person here. We'll have a little demo before we split up. One person there, one person here, and one person over at that charge circle. Oh, that side. Good. We're in a stance. So just work on exactly what we did. So now we're trying to build the shot. We want to try to get all net all the time. So we're in a stance, wrinkles in our wrist, fingers up to the sky, our index finger, knee, all right, and big toe in a line. And then we've got our guide hand. We just want to lift, lock, and snap. Hold the follow through. Little demo, go. Good, let's go again. Rotate around. Let's go both ends. Go, boys. Both ends, run half down that end, half this end. Shoot it, then move around. So this is a great drill for form shooting, okay, to build muscle memory and technique. We do this every session. Athletes will come in and do this before the session starts. So put the onus on them to be able to get up a lot of shots. At the end of the day, if they want to become a great shooter, they've got to get up a lot of shots. There's no secret to becoming a great shooter. Hold your follow through. Remember, we want 11 o'clock, nice and high. What hand do you write with? What hand do you write with? Okay. I want you to try to get your right hand to follow through. Yep. Good. Nice high follow through. Right, hold there, boys, down here. So now we're going to, you just stop it halfway for me. Passer, shooter. You don't need a basketball as a shooter. Passer does need a basketball though. So I want passer, shooter, shooter. If you're the odd one out, just go down there because you're getting the pair down there. So we're going to work on some shot preparation. So you're going to start outside the 3-point line. We want to drop our hips and hands are up. All right, just so we build a habit. You're now going to run in, and the passer, you want to throw them the ball, and your objective or challenge here is to catch the ball in the air. So your feet are off the ground when you catch it. Everyone's footwork here should be left, right. Now, I don't want to hear them catch the ball, because if you hear them catch the ball, it's generally because they're slapping it with the palms of their hands. So if you throw me the ball, all right, we don't want that. Okay, we want to catch with our finger pads. So as you throw it, see there's a significant difference in the sound, right? Finger pads, so that we can just finger pads and then straight up. We've all heard the saying of make sure there's a little bit of daylight here between the palm and the ball, and that will help with that, catching your finger pads. You're going to go 3 shots. So you'll shoot, you'll backpedal, you'll get the rebound, run back in, go again, 3. Once you've done 3, switch around. All right, give us a little demo. Go. Catch the ball left, right. You boys understand what we're doing? Yep. Go. Nice hard flat passes, finger pads. So what will generally happen now, their follow through will go out the window because they're worried about trying to make a shot. Just try to encourage them to not think about the result, but the process getting there. Attention to detail. These are the things you want to coach. Once you've done 3, switch over. Left, right, left, right. Once you've had 3 each, I want you to stop. You've had 3 each? Okay, hold there. Right, boys, hold there. So the other thing you start to hear is this. All right, so you want to be light on our feet. So try to now, when you shoot it, we're not heavy on our feet. We're running, it's just 1, 2. Okay, so it's soft landing. We're not, okay, it's nice and slow or light, and then into our shot. Ready? Go back, 3 again. 3 each. Hold your follow through. Nice high follow through, 11 o'clock. So what hand are you? Right. So your footwork's left, right. Okay? Yeah, left, right. Dominant foot second. Make sure your footwork's left, right, left, right. Yep. Switch around once you go. Everyone's gone? All right, everyone get a basketball here. Everyone get a basketball. You're just going to have 3 lines. I want 1 line here with the basketballs. Quick, 1 line there, 1 line in the middle, and 1 line over here. Now, whenever we coach players on shooting, it's usually not about adding things to their shot. It's usually about taking things away from their shot. So, pass the ball here. If I was to say to an athlete, I want you to get from here to the sideline, you would go in which direction? You'd go straight, correct? You wouldn't go around to get there. So, when we watch athletes shoot the ball, we start in a set position, so we're here. You see a lot of athletes will move the ball around when they shoot it. So we call that unnecessary movement. So here's a nice little drill to hopefully eradicate or stop or just make them aware of that movement. So what you're going to do, everyone's going to start in a stance. Now even if it's not your go, you're in a stance. Okay, so your knees are bent, dominant foot slightly in front, wrinkles in our wrist, fingers up to the sky. Our guide hand, our fingers should face out to the wall there, the brick wall. We want to make what we call a T with our thumbs. So right now our thumbs should be a T shape there. You're going to run in, and we're not having any movement here, so any unnecessary move. We're going to hold, we're just going to run in. Okay, we're going to go mid-range, light on our feet into a shot. Looks a bit weird because yes, it is a travel in a game, okay, but we just want to build the awareness of having no unnecessary movement. Do we understand what we're doing? Start in your shot pocket, set position, you'll shoot it, get your rebound, jog back, join a new line. Ready? Go. No unnecessary movement. Straight into our shot. Good. Lift straight up. Nice. That was a nice one in the middle there. Nice straight follow through. Swish. No unnecessary movement. Wrinkles in the wrist. Balance on your shot, be balanced. Good. Right, hold there. So I want you to continually ask your athletes for feedback. So you might ask them when they shoot the ball, if it doesn't go straight, why would the ball not go straight? Yeah, so what was it? Yeah, so with our follow through, where does our follow through want to face? The basket. Okay, we want to get the ball to the basket, our follow through wants to face the basket. We want to encourage all athletes, if they're going to miss it, we want them to miss long. So back of the rim. We don't want to shoot short because majority of shots when they miss are short. Kevin Durant has a really good game that he plays and just challenges himself, that he might have it to any score, might be to 11, might be to 20, but if he misses the shot or if it goes front rim in, he doesn't get a point. If it's a swish, he doesn't get a point. He only gets points when it's back of the rim in. Because he feels like when he gets to the NBA where there's crowd, where there's added pressure, right, a little bit fatigued, that's when your shots fall a little bit short. And if he's always aiming for back of the rim, then hopefully it's going to be a swish. All right, so always encourage your athletes to shoot, and if they're going to miss back rim. All right, bring the lines a little bit forward to the 3-point line. So we're just going to add in now some shooting at different angles and the footwork to that, or for that. Again, there's no right or wrong. We want to teach inside-outside footwork because eventually you can progress that to a step back. So we're going to start just off the 3-point line in a stance. Right, you're just going to spin the ball out to your right. Okay, we're not going to add any dribble just yet. You're going to spin the ball out to your right, and then you're going to catch it left, right, square up, and then shoot it. All right, make sure our feet, shoulders are square to the rim, and then we lift, lock, and snap. Hold our follow through. Where does our follow through face? Basket. Get your rebound, join a new line. Ready? Go. Spin it to your right. So try to catch the ball in the air. Next group, go. Drop your hips, quick feet. Once you feel like their technique's quite good, encourage them to speed their footwork up. All right, so it's 1, 2. All right, hold there. So now what I want you to do, we want to increase or speed up our footwork a little bit. So right now we're kind of doing this, and it's not wrong, but is it game pace? And that's what you've got to keep asking yourself. Would you do it this pace in the game? Who knows a player called Michael Jordan? Everyone should, okay? So he used to do his practices, he'd go as hard as he could, and then he'd stop, his individual practices. And he started off just going 1 minute as hard as he could. Then the next time he did it, he'd do 2 minutes as hard as he could. He got to a stage where he could do, I think it was 28 minutes, flat out, as hard as he could. As hard as he could, no breaks. All right, so you need to start off small, but when we practice, we want to practice game pace. All right, so right now it's low, we spin it, and I want to speed up our footwork. So it'll be 1, 2, and then I'm into my shot. Be balanced, focus on your technique. Just because we speed our feet up, it doesn't mean everything else speeds up. All right, so quick feet, and then slow up into our shot. Lock and snap, go. 1, 2, footwork. Where do we aim for? All right, if we're gonna miss back of the rim. Get nice height on our shot. Good. Hold your follow through. Right, you're going to your left now. Footwork's right, left. Right, left. See if we can just listen and apply without having a demo. Footwork's right, left, remember? Right, left. Get your feet down, 1, 2. Right, left. Kevin Lish, right, left, yeah? All right, hold there. All right, boys, just get a drink if you want to get a drink. 2 of you just get a quick drink, and then I'll need 2 of you to jump back up here. Oh, thanks. So they're just a couple of the drills we do, okay, to incorporate some shooting, but the onus is on them a lot of the time, right? You got to give them a plan, and there's a lot of coaches and a lot of players make shooting a complicated task. They make it really complex. First of all, they've got to love shooting. They've got to want to come and shoot, want to come and get better. We've got to give them a simple plan, right? They've got to have a clear mind, so we're not going to the free throw line worried about if I'm going to miss or make it, right? Got to have a clear mind, got to love shooting, you got to have a plan. So right then I gave you a little plan as to how to shoot the ball, correct? And what do you think the most important thing is to become a great shooter? Practice. Yeah, practice, reps. Okay, so I was just telling the coaches, when you shoot the ball, you need to have a clear mind. Who knows James Harden? Do you think he goes to the free throw line thinking, oh, I'm not going to miss this, I'm going to miss this, right? Or worried about the shot? It's got to go clear mind, right? Clear mind. What was the next one? You boys heard it? Pardon? Yeah, that's the fourth one, right? One, clear mind. Anyone, pardon? Yeah, have a plan. Yeah, want to shoot, so love to shoot, right? So clear mind, love to shoot, have a plan, and get reps, right? That's the important thing that you, if you're coaching junior players, have them doing, right? Got to practice shooting. I need two of you out here, please. So now we're going to add in some offense and defense. So we call this the defensive Maravich drill. You can be defense. You're a good defender. You can be defense. You're a good defender. Beautiful. All right, that's all right. You can be offense. You're a better offensive player, aren't you? Good. Okay, so defensively, we want to always have ball pressure. So you guys will do this after we just show the demonstration. All right, so we always want to have ball pressure. So our feet are in a stance, we're bum down, our nose to chest, and our hand is always above the ball. Now, if the ball's on this side of their hip, right, or this side of their body, so their left hip, I want you to stand there for me, you would have this hand as the deflection hand, and this hand here as the dig hand, so on top of the ball, so they can't easily go into a shot. We don't want to have this hand all the way back here. The most common mistake they'll have is they'll bring their hand back here. We want to make sure this is in an active position to get a deflection or maybe to get a steal, right? So you're like a boxer, you can hit and then go back, right? Dig at it, then go back. Low, back straight. Our nose, knees and toes want to be in a straight line. We don't want to lean too far forward and not be off balance, right? So our nose, knees and toes sit. From here, we're just going to work simply on moving the ball from hip to hip. And as that happens, I want you to yell out chop. Right, so your hands are here. As you swing it from hip to hip, you're going to chop. Right, and again, chop. Chop. Right, again, this helps with communication. And athletes, as we know, struggle to communicate on the court. Stance, show me again. Go. Chop. Right, hold there. Notice, stance. Notice, as soon as you went the first chop, chop, go. Hand came straight back here. That hand's not doing anything back here. So you want to make sure it's more active and engaged in what's going on. Ready? So shorter, sharper movements. Go. Chop. Chop. Good. Hold there. Now see with his feet, I don't mind if he moves his feet a little bit as well. Okay, to guard the ball. So we can just have a little, as we chop, we can just have a little hop, right, be on our toes, ready to move. You boys are going to spread out and do the same thing. Ready? Go. Stance. Hurry up, boys. Move it. Move it. Let's go. All right, switch over. Boys, if you're too slow to get reps in, it's not my fault. Go. They're really soft, as you can tell. Boys, yell it out. Let's go, loud. Right, hold there. So now from here, we can progress if they add in a jab step. So we have hand above the ball. Right, deflection hand here. If you jab step, we want to jump backwards. So you can jab step either foot. Now, sometimes coaches say you want to straddle that foot as you jump backwards. So jump back diagonally, that's okay. Right, as you jab, we can just jump directly backwards. Either or. What we don't want to do is one, not move, and two, jump to the side. Because the aim of a jab step is to do what? Or a drive fake. Why do you think they're doing that? To create space to do what? To move, right? To shoot it, okay, or to drive the other way. So do not move that way. We just want to give them a little bit more space to jump back to give ourselves space. And then as they go back in, then we can guard the ball. So right now we're going to chop. So we're here, hand positioning, chop, chop. You might jab step, chop. I jump back, and then as you come back in, I go back into the ball. We right with that? Ready? Now, give me a few pairs down here. Boys, run, move it, let's go. Ready? Stance. Hand above the ball. Hold there. We're not starting until everyone's got their hand above the ball. One hand at least. Stance. Now how far, what's the distance between the defender and the offense? Tell me, how far?
Arm's length.
One arm's length, right? So you got to make sure you're not too close, but you at least have some pressure on the ball. So you got one arm's length. You right with that? If you feel like you're a great defender and you can guard him easily, you might come a little bit closer. Okay, otherwise give yourself enough time and space to move. Ready? Stance, chop it.
Chop, chop, chop.
I'll tell you when to jab step.
Chop, chop, chop.
Jab. And back into it. Keep going, chop.
Chop, 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 chop.
Stance, stance, bum down, good. Wait, remember we have deflection hands here. Okay?
Chop, chop.
Change over. Boys, we need to learn to talk more. Hands up if you're a coach here for a younger team. Or just one. Okay, you're lucky because he's the only one talking. Right? Ready? Stance, go.
Chop, 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 chop.
Hold there. So we're not doing this. Okay, once you get down low, here, we might move a little bit. Right? Be more active with your feet. Right? Feet, you got to be able to guard their feet. So if they take off, your feet have got to move and slide. Ready? Go. Jab. Hold there. Good. Switch around. Next progression. This is the last one we'll do before we actually play a little bit of one-on-one with it. If they put the ball above their head to pass the ball, right? What we want to do, so just move out of the way for me. You come here. So the hand that was above the ball, so if my right hand's above the ball, as the ball goes above your head, that hand stays up with the ball. And then our other hand, we just want to turn it so the back of our hand is on their belly or their chest right here. We want to get down to stance so they're not easily going by us. We don't want to have palm on their body because what might they refs call? Yeah, we know how refs love to call fouls. All right, so ball's above your head. It's here. As you rip it down, I want to jump off, hand above the ball. Okay, then we can work on our chopping. As the ball goes up, straight up and in again, low, take away time and space. As they rip it, I jump off. And as you jump off, you might dig at the ball. Right, ready? Little demo. Hand above the ball, hand above the ball. Stance, go, chop, yell it out.
Chop, 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 chop.
Above your head, up and in, up and in. Hold there. So some of you are a little bit afraid to make contact. Basketball is a contact sport, right? As you get older and progress through the levels, you can get quite physical, right? Screens and whatnot. So you want to get up and in, stay low, so feet wide. Get your feet wider than his feet. Good. Balls above your head. Right in. Nice, close. Good. All right, I want to know if he had pizza last night for dinner because you can smell his breath. All right, ready? Stance, switch it over. Go, chop, work on it. Ball above your head. Up and in, up and in. Rip it. Good. Flip it over. Right, now you're going to add all those things together. Right? You might go jab step. You might go ball above your head. We might go a shot fake. Now, we all know what to do on a shot fake, don't we? What do we not do on a shot fake? There you go, perfect. All right, we don't go into detail with that. Ready? Stance. Go, you guys do what you want. You might jab step, you might put the ball above your head, stay low, whip it off. All right, switch over. Ready, go. Hold up, so your feet, go back, your feet want to be here. Right, so your feet want to face his feet. Low stance, hand above the ball. This hand, and that hand there. Ready? Go. Move it. All right, hold there. Good. So you two, over here for me. So we're going to work in an area roughly the size of the circle here. Now, there used to be a half circle here. You guys are probably too young to remember that, but I guarantee you most of the coaches there remember a half circle here. All right, so the center circle there, you're going to work in an area roughly that size. Okay? We're starting in a stance. Hand above the ball, you're in a stance offensively as well. You're working on your ball handling skills here, but you can't go outside this area. So you might go forward, right hand, retreat, crossover, behind the back, right? Then you might go left, same thing. Your job is to, one, always have ball pressure, Okay, always have ball pressure. So we're not stepping all the way back here, giving them time and space. I must have ball pressure. And now when you dribble one way, your job is to move your feet. So if he goes to his right, you will step left foot, right? Move your feet, and if there's contact, we call this a chest blow. So we get hit through the chest. If our hands are on when there's contact, what is the ref probably going to call?
Foul.
Yeah, and it is a foul. So we need to get our hands out when there's contact. And what we do on a chest blow is we hands out, we jump back a little bit, because if you don't jump back a little bit and there's contact, they can spin on you straight away and get around you. So you want to jump back just a little bit, and then most of the time you probably retreat dribble because we're only working in this area. And when they retreat dribble, what's the number one thing we always need to have?
Our hands.
What was the number one thing? Or what? Ball pressure. So as he retreat dribbles, you got to get back up and in, right? Hand above the ball. Are we okay with that? We'll do a little demo here, then we'll flip it around. Ready? Stance. Go. Work on your handles. Good, good. All right, hold there. Pretty good. All right, change that up. Don't always go right and left. So boys, pick an area around this court. Ready? We're going to go for 30 seconds and then we're changing over. You're going to work up a little bit of a sweat here. Ready? Boys, watch out for that basketball just there. Set, stance, show me your stance. Hand above the ball. Can you touch it? One arm's length, not too close. Don't be too close. Go. Move your feet, move your feet. This is a really good drill to get them working, right? Really, really tough. The progression will maybe show you. We don't have any t-shirts or towels. Progression is they've got to put a towel behind their head and do it. And that makes it really tough. Stay low, stance. All right, hold there, switch over. So a lot of us are trying to do this. As you dribble one way, right, as you go one way, you're trying to just lean into them. Our nose wants to be in line with the ball. So we want to over-emphasize or over-encourage this as we go. We want to over-exaggerate here, nose in line with the ball, so there's contact, chest pump. Now when you retreat, I'm ball pressure, you might cross it over, and then I'm jumping across. Do we all see that? All right, nose in line with the ball. Over-exaggerate this. Ready? Stance. Hand above the ball. Don't be too close. Stance. Your nose needs to be in line with his chest. Your defense? Sit lower, lower, lower. Like you're sitting on a toilet seat. Okay, ready? Stance. Go. Here we go. Move the ball. Good, good. Right, hold there. Not too bad. So the next level of progression, who's got a t-shirt here? Anyone? A towel? Anyone got a towel? All right, so usually when you come to practice, you have a t-shirt or towel. We'll just borrow that. We'll just get one pair to demonstrate. Over here. Who's the best defender here? Come on. There you go. Offense. Partner. So this person now puts the towel or t-shirt behind their head. You got to hold it with L shape in your arms. This becomes really tough, right? Because now we're just working on, you got to just move with your feet. You can't push pressure or use your hands or anything like that. Arms. Ready? Let's just move over here a little bit so we can have a demo. Now what ends up happening is they do this. Can't do that. All right, so here, L shape in their arms, get in a stance and sit. Ready? Yeah, you're the same thing, roughly in that area. Go. Beat him, come on. Come on, beat him. Good. All right, hold there. The progression we can then do is actually play one-on-one. So you might have defender at the elbow, offense at the wing, and then passer here, start at the elbow. So I'm really pedantic about this stuff, right? Your right hip faces me, right hip, so we can see now ball and these players, sorry. We're in a stance, and now we're gonna play one-on-one. So I'm gonna throw it, you're gonna try to score. You only got 3 bounces to score though. Ready? Go. Hold there, go back. So what was the very first thing defense did? Or what didn't you have? Nah, ball, pressure. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you step back here, you will always get beat off the dribble, because look how much room they have to get a head start, a running start at you, right? And we'll work on closeouts in a sec and jump into the ball, and I'll show you what to do, but we want to move quickly. Move quicker than that, and roughly be 1 arm's length away. Ready? Stance, go. Go back again. I want you to try to score though. I know you're doing it just to be a good person for the camera, but dunk on him now. Ready? Stance. Go. Beat him off the dribble. Good. Rewind. Back here. So 2 slides, stood up, gave up. Right? Over exaggerate your slides here. So if you drive, you want to over exaggerate and keep working, because around about the 2nd slide you kind of stood up a bit, and that's where you got around you. We okay with that, boys? All right, so that's a little progression you can do. Makes it pretty tough. 1, because they can't foul, got to get their hands out, and just make it 1 shot, because you can't get the ball. All right, get a quick drink, and then I'll get you all back out here without a basketball. So we call that the defensive Maravich drill. We did get to a point where we played 1-on-1, but we got a broken nose because the kid had his hands back here and he couldn't protect himself and he got hit. So we stopped doing it. But that's something I do like to do a lot, because it actually makes them sit down and guard. And it's great for the ball handler because they're working on their handles, right? So we never really want to do drills in isolation. We always want to have some component of offense and defense if we can. I know the very start there was the hand-eye coordination and the shooting, but the hand-eye coordination stuff I do for maybe like 2-3 minutes. And then it's back, bang, straight into offense and defense. So this is a mass closeout drill. So I just need everyone out here. I'll need 1 person, just, you can rest, you can be a passer here. And everyone else, you're gonna line up 1 person here, next person behind them here, next person behind them here, and then so on, going down to the baseline. Now we all roughly have 10 in a team. This is a great drill because it gets everyone active and engaged straight away. So we're working on closeouts. Maybe step a little bit higher. The last 2 can jump out. Or you can jump, actually go in, don't worry about it, go in. Start a little bit, tiny bit higher, go a little bit higher. Go a little bit further up, further up, further up. Yep, move up, boys. Just so we're all on the court, okay? So, ball's gonna be over here. Now what I want you to pretend, this is where some visualization comes into it, you're not defending there. You're defending roughly where your play would be if you just drew a straight line to the sideline. Okay, so your player's here, your player's here, and so on. So when I throw the ball across, you're going to close out to where your player would be. So you're lucky because you get to close out to the wing, roughly. Do we all understand that? So you'll be closing out roughly towards the baseline, the sideline. Now what's important about a closeout, 1, we're in a stance here defensively. So we all know this is called the split line. We want to show our hands so we're nice and big. I'm going to skip it. Now, we call this being a proactive defender. So proactive movements. As soon as you see me do this with the basketball, what am I doing? So what do you think you should start to do? Move. Great. You don't want to watch the ball as it's in the air and then decide to move. So it's proactive movements. As you turn, you want to sprint. And there's a lot of debate on the last little bit here, but I want you to get to that point as quick as possible. So it's turn and sprint, and we want to call ball, carry a hand. So I'm sprinting, I go ball, and then I'm hand above the ball, where they would roughly be on the 3-point line. Okay? Everyone all right with that? Let's see. Stance. Now don't just look at me, because if you look at me right now, your play cuts. You can either have your head on a swivel and look, or you can just look straight and see both. Use your peripheral vision. It just depends on how high you are. Ready? Flip it back. So we want to sprint, and most of you did it anyway. You sprinted, and then you went stutter step. Okay, you're on your toes, ready to move. Right, that was pretty good. Now what's going to happen, I'm going to throw it back, and you're going to sprint back to the help position. Now we're just going to say split, okay, because there's all these different names, we just call it split. What's it called? Split. Good. Now when you arrive back here, you're going to quickly check where you came from. So I sprint back, split, and I quickly look where I came from. Because anyone watch Shaq and a Fool? All right, watch it, it's pretty funny. All right, Shaq does clips of NBA players where they make a lot of mistakes. There's one really big one where James Harden's defense and his player's there, and James Harden's just ball watching, right? And his player just cuts, and he doesn't even see him cut, and he looks back here and he's gone. So we don't want to ball watch on defense. You always want to see both. So have your head on a swivel, and then when we sprint back, you check where you came from. Stance. Turn a sprint, turn a sprint. Quick check where you came from. Pretty good. Ready? Again. Good. Now, let's say I'm going to drive the ball now. So let's just get everyone off except one person who's there and one person guarding me here. Quick. So now we're going to start talking about our help positioning and decision making from this. If I'm to drive middle here, you want to go to your player. So the saying's this: if the ball comes to me defensively, I go to my player. Right? So go to your player, so you close out, and then if the ball goes away from you, you go away from your player. Pretty simple. Ball comes to me, I go to my player. Ball goes away from me, I go away from my player. So right now the ball's coming towards you. So you start going to your player. Does everyone understand that? Now, you might then say, well, what about if you're in a help position and you're defending me and I drive right past you? Well, one, coaches will probably sub you out because we don't want to let someone just blow by you. We call that a straight line drive. You have to be able to sit down and guard and contain your player. The second thing is, just give me one person up there on the low split line. The help would come from that player. As I drive, you go to your player. If I beat you here, you would end up stepping up to help if I get around that. Okay? And the reason why that happens like that is because as you get older, and again, we want to develop these athletes for the future, not just for right now, the highest percentage shot in the game is what do you think? Now I'm talking about when you get up levels. I'm not talking about under 12 basketball, under 14 basketball, or all it is layups. What's the highest percentage shot in the game? Nah. Any coach know? A free throw. Free throw is the highest percentage shot in the game. Okay? At the end of the session, I'll do a little equation for you to show you if you want to see the in-depth side of it. The second highest percentage shot in the game is what do you think? One of you said it before. Three-pointer. Three-point shot's the second highest percentage shot in the game. When you get older, I'm not talking about under 12s, okay? So you're defending me. If I drive and you stay there or you help, that's a kick for an open three-point shot, right? And the reason why it's the highest percentage shot in the game, because it's worth more, right? It's worth it's worth an extra point. Okay? Most of the time, or the lowest percentage shot, or a shot that's not a high percentage shot, is a mid-range contested shot. So, this is the drill. Everyone's going to jump back up. You just hop out of the way. Yep, jump up. Jump up for me. Go in there. Quick, quick. Go, boys. So on middle drive, middle penetration, I drive middle, what do we all do? Go to our player. So I just want you to pretend like you're the players up here. Okay? So if I start driving middle, what do? Start going to your player. So now when I throw it, what are you doing? Call ball, carry a hand. We okay with that? Rewind. Stance. Give me, let me the last 5 off. And then you guys will jump on after they go. Ready? Go, move. Good, come back. Now just remember, where's your player? Don't close out to the ball, close out to where your player would be. What happens if I pass it? What do you do? What happens if I dribble it? What do you do? Same movements, ready? Come back. Next 5 up, ready? Quick, switch over. What were the 2 things I spoke to you about when you close out? Call what? Ball, carry A. So you got to yell it out. You got to declare ball because we don't want 3 players running at the ball. So as soon as you know that the ball gets skipped to your player, ball, yell it out. So if we're both running at it and you yell out, ball, well, I'm not going to go to the ball. Communication fixes a lot of things, not only in life, right, but in basketball as well. Right? You've got to learn to communicate, talk. Stance, hands. Good, dial back, turn and sprint, check where you came from. Good, next 5, go. Ready? Dial back. Dial back. Good, next 5. So now, just give me 1 person up actually, the rest of you hop off. Actually, you can be at the wing. Give me 1 person here. You ready to play? Good, you can hop off for me. You can have a rest. Yep. So we spoke about middle penetration then. Now we're going to talk about baseline penetration. The problem nowadays is not the fact that we help or under-help, it's that we over-help. And we've taught them at such a young age, under 12s, and I've been definitely guilty of it, that when this player drives, what does this player do nearly every time? They just come and help, because we've told them to do that from such a young age. We need to try to get them in a phase where, or a situation where you can actually make a decision on whether to help or not help. So this is the hints and tips we give you. 1, I call help. That's pretty obvious. If I call help, well, you got to help. Second thing, if you go past me and you see his number on his singlet, then I need help. Okay, go back. This only is going to happen in the first 1 or 2 bounces. After that, if you get around me, so let's say you go 2 bounces, 1, and I do a good job kind of staying in front, forcing them below the low hash mark. If he gets around me right here to score, that's not your fault, that's my fault. Right, so remember how we spoke about before about over-exaggerating your slides on defense? That's part of it. So you're driving, baseline. If you need help, you're going to say go, which tells me to go. So as you come, you'll say go, go, go.
Go, go.
Then I'll switch onto this player or onto whoever else is open. Are we okay with that, boys? So I'm going to give you 1 up here to play defense. Quick. You're going to turn around, back to me, stance. You're going to put the ball on his back. So this starts with just giving offense a bit of an advantage. So you're only allowed to go baseline to start with. All right? So when you go baseline, first person, all right, your job is to try to get back in front. You just need to make a decision. Now, if you feel like he's staying with him, you tell him stay, and then you go to your player. Ready? Stance. From there, you can move wherever you want to score.
Stay.
Try to score, come on. All right, go again, ready? Quick. Flip it over, O to D. So, hold there, pretty good job. Why did you tell him to stay? Yeah, why else? Where was he starting to dribble towards? Yeah, base, like the low hash mark. Below the low hash mark here. So we call this the low hash mark. He was starting to dribble below that. All right, so good job with that. Ready? Stance. You can only go baseline, remember? You go when you want to go. All right, go back again, quick, let's go. You 4, get ready to go in next. Stance. Go when you're ready. Oh, got to know who's on offense and who's on defense. All right, you 4 in, quick, pass the ball. So that was pretty good. They actually made some decisions on that. And the reason why I want to make them to make a decision is because if you drove, boys, be quiet, listen. Drive baseline. If we went to help on this every single time like we've just taught them to at a younger age and you get to low there, throw the pass. 1, that's an open shot. which is a higher percentage shot than a contested shot. And 2, we call this a long closeout. So the longer the closeout, the harder it is for you to contain the ball, because all your momentum's going which way do you think?
That way.
Yeah, and where does he want to go to?
That way.
Yeah, so they're going against each other, right? So we call that a long closeout. So 1, it's either an open shot, or 2, you're running out like crazy and then they blow right by you. So we want to try to eliminate longer closeouts and open shots, and that's where that can help. But it all starts with this player here doing what? Yeah, guarding the ball one-on-one. Okay? Give me 2 more players up. So I want offense here. So I'm just talking about defense. For the last half an hour, I'll give some offense on what we're doing with our receiver spots. Offense, offense, defense. Defense at the elbow. Defense at that elbow. So I'm going to start with the ball here, and I'm going to throw it to either wing, or that wing. Okay, and you need to close out to your positioning. So we'll just quickly go over where we need to get to. Ball's there, where do you get to? Good, and what were the 2 important points about closing out? Call,
Ball.
carry A,
Drop.
carry A. Good, okay, now you can go 1 hand, 2 hands. I've never heard of a coach say close out with your hands down. Okay? You're now going to get to what we call the gap, which is at the elbow, and your left hip faces the ball. So we're in a stance, hips down, hands are up, right? And now we can see both. Why do you think coaches have you have your hands up, or get you to have your hands up? Why do they tell you that under 12s?
So like it gives you directions also.
Why is it?
So like you got your hands on the players.
Yeah, that's one way. Okay, coaches say it's trying to trick you, so you can see ball and man, right? They do it really to make sure you get your hands up, so now there's less what in the half court here? Less room, less space for offense to do what? Yeah, move the ball, right? Penetrate the gaps. That's the main reason why we've got our hands up. We teach you to get your hands up, right? So we're going to sit in a stance. Now you would get to where do you think?
Split.
Good, so roughly on the split line, or the captain. We call this the captain. I don't know if it's captain out here yet. Not yet, okay. We keep changing things for some weird reason. Coaches change names. The reason why it's the captain is because we want you to make a decision. There's a rock there, or did you kick it off? So make a decision on whether to stay or go. Now the captain position is from the split line to roughly here. I mean, you could be right here. You could stand here if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But all we say to you is, if you get beat off the dribble, you better get to the block before he does.
Yeah.
So we give him the area to work in. So you're in a captain position, stance, and you're directing people around. You're the captain. Stance, low, bum hit, bum down, point your hands, right? Now from here, if you drive base, we're in our stay and go rules. If he does a great job staying on the ball, what do you yell out? And then go, where do you go to? Where do you go to? Good, you go to your players. Because what's the worst thing that can happen here? Rewind. You stay there, you stop here and you do this. Because what's that now? An open or a long closeout, right? Once the ball has been stopped, right? So once we guard the ball, he's now going to either shoot it or pass it. So go to your player. So now when I throw it, you're there to contest it and you're there to make it a shorter closeout. Rewind. Now let's say he does get beat off the dribble. What do you yell out? Nah, he might yell out help. You yell out good. So you're telling him to go. So let's just, we're going to get you to, you're going to go to the corner and go to the wing. So we call that the drift and diag, and we'll talk about that soon. So now you come to help. Now I have to pass the ball most of the time. So offensively you might dribble around them to throw it. Okay, but the ball's going to get thrown. So who would be the person to rotate over there? Good. So you're going to rotate to the ball first, and then you would rotate to where do you think after that? The next what? Yeah, the next pass, right? So if you throw it on, you're taking the ball there. Do we understand that? Pass the ball here. Rewind. If I drive, come back to the elbow, quick. If I drive middle, What are you doing? What are you doing when I drive middle? Defend me. As I drive middle, ball comes to me, I go to my... Yep, good. So you go to your player. If you see me start to do this, where are you going towards? Nah, where are you going towards?
My player.
Where's your player? Good. Okay, so don't lose sight of your player. If you're defending me, we're in our help positioning. I drive, where are you getting to? Where are you getting to? Good. If I drive, you go to your player, and I beat you, who steps up? Now, who takes the first pass?
Nice.
Who takes the first pass? Take it, and then what do you take? The next pass. Do we understand that? All right, let's give it a demonstration. Trial and error. Ready? You guys just sub plays in and out as we go. Stance. Ball's here. Start the elbow. Go. Close out. Play. Go to your player. That's not too bad. Jump off. Keep going. Like jump off. Jump off. Jump off. Play help. Keep playing. Keep playing. Good. Nice decision. Try to score, boys. Try to score. All right, not too bad. All right, you're communicating, that's the main thing. Switch around, ready? Players get on, just get to your spots. Offense, offense, offense. Quick, stay here. You can stay here on offense. Ready? One more player up. Stance, come a little bit further up. Ready, go. Go to your player, go to your player, go to him. All right, hold there. So what should you have done when the ball's back down there? Yeah, because what might you do? You might, one, steal it, okay? You might get to here now, steal it. Now, some people then might go, well, how do we get back cut? So you might go too far, which then opens up a back cut. One, if you did that, I'd congratulate you, because now you're starting to play basketball. You're not just being a robot. But two, when I go to my player, I want to go in the lane of the back cut, or the line of the back cut. So right now, if he tries the back cut, I can just bump. If he tries the face cut, I can just bump. Do we see that? Right, we don't want to come too high here to allow a line to the basket. Oh. Go again, ready? Stance. Go. Go to your player, go to your player. Hold on, stop. What are you doing? Yeah, but did he guard the ball well there? So what do you need to do? Yeah, and then what do you do? Good, let's go again. You know the answer, okay? This is where communication helps. Right, if you say stay, that's telling him to stay, so I need to go to my player. Ready? Guard the ball, guard the ball. Good, go to him. Not too bad. Stance, come on, try to score. Move your feet. All right, not too bad. Better. Do we understand the stay-go rules? Yes? All right. I need 5 players up, please. So give me 1 player here, 1 player over there, 1 player underneath the basket, 1 player corner, 1 player corner. So a big push nowadays is for players to be positionless. So for players to play in every position, to not pigeonhole people into certain positions, because you might have been under 12s and you might be that height, and then in under 18s, under 20s, you're still that height. So we need to give you the skills to play inside and outside. And we have 5 receiver spots, and they're the 5 Ds. So they're called drift, and we'll go over them soon. Drift, driver, diag, dunker, and drag. Okay, and the reason why we have receiver spots is when someone drives to the basket and they come to a stop and they need help and defense rotates from that, you guys get into 5 spots that 1, I can make an easier pass to, and 2, we know where you are. But I might get to here and I might just throw the ball over my head because I know you're in the corner position, or you might be lifting up to the drag position, whatever it might have been. All right, so knowing that we're all on the same page, okay, makes offense work a lot smoother. So we'll just go over the spots right now. So just lift up, throw it. Now you can stay here. You can send your big to the same side or opposite. We like to send it opposite. And the reason for that is so it opens all this space up for the drive. Now, let's say you drove baseline or middle, doesn't really matter. So this is the driver, that's 1D. we want the drag. So you're going to drag in behind. So the drag always goes to where the driver was. Okay with that? So we've got those two spots. What's this one called? What's it called? What's it called? Are you listening? What's this spot called? Driver. What's this spot called? Drag. What's this spot called? Good. And that spot? Good. Okay. The big is what we call the dunker. So we just get around to here. So you can catch the ball and dunk the ball. So you're the dunker. Okay? You're getting to what we call the drift. So there's a bailout pass along here for a shot potentially. Just don't be too close to the baseline because then you obviously can't shoot the ball, back the ball. And then you're getting to what we call the diagonal or the diag. Everyone all right with that? Now you can't be in the line of the dunker. So if you're right here and he can't see you, you can't get the ball. So you need to move around maybe to there. Do we all see that? They're the 5 Ds. Right with that? Rewind, give me a demonstration, show me how it goes. Now you can either score on the layup or you can throw it out and you can shoot it straight away. No extra pass just yet. Ready? Go. Wait for the drive. Go. Good. Go again. Rewind. The other thing you can start to get athletes to do is talk to themselves about the spots. They're going to yell out their position. So right now when you get to your spot, I want you all to yell out what spot you get to. Okay, so what's your one? Diag, dunker, driver, drag, drift. Ready? Go. Attack, sprint, call it out. All right, not too bad. Rewind. Lift, throw it, go opposite. So, go opposite there. So we call this, we're going to refer to it as split kick extra. So creating a split in the defense, so going past me. So now when you've created a split, you must force rotation. So we want to always encourage you to beat your player one-on-one. Okay? So as you get past them, that's split, get to our receivers. We call this kick, so split, kick, and extra pass. That's usually the shot you'll get. Because most teams are really good at the first rotation. Everyone kind of knows to get to that spot. And then when the ball gets thrown, one, this forces a longer closeout, and two, you've got more time to shoot it. Right, now from here, we're going to throw a little spanner in the works. Because we want to be positionless, we're going to allow every player to play in every position. So the driver always becomes then the dunker. The dunker will always fill out to the weak side corner. So where's the strong side, do you think? The side that the what's on? The ball? Where's the weak side? Good, so where's the weak side corner? So you sprint out for me. So now we're getting every player to play every position. Because now the fives learn to play on the perimeter, the guards learn to play inside. Now if you were to drive middle through the elbow, you be the dunker, so you can go underneath. We call this wheeling. So the dunker can go high or low, always goes opposite. You're at what spot? Diag, drift. Yeah, what's it called? Drag, drag. Everyone okay with that? Same rules, different people in different positions. Now, same thing. You might throw it out. Throw it out. We work on split kick extra, extra. You turn and do what? You're the driver, you always become the what?
The dunker.
Dunker, and you always go opposite the ball. Where's the ball? Good. You're the dunker, you go to the weak side corner. So now they're playing every position. So now if you drive baseline, you'd stay in the drag, that's okay. You'd get to the dunker, you'd be drift, diag. Right, throw the ball, split kick extra, I turn and get to the dunker, you turn and sprint out. Are we okay with that? Now, let's say we give the ball to the drag. You're here. Actually, we'll rewind just so it makes sense to start with. Go back to the start so we can all see it. Lift up, throw it, drive, receivers. Dunker, pivot, turn back, throw it there. Let's say we give the ball to the drag. Now there's already players out there, okay? So you get to the dunker, you always stay and do that, and you get to the opposite the ball. Because there's no person here, we can't go split kick extra because there's no one to throw it to, so you need to redrive. if you have it. If you don't have it, we just fill around and reverse the ball again and pass and cut. Okay, this is only when there's a drive. There's no one here, you look to redrive. Now, from here, you would always go weak side where? Corner. So go to the weak side corner. You would fill the drag position and you would lift up to the diag. And then we got our dunker. Do we all see that? So we throw it out to the drag, you still go opposite, right? Or sorry, dunker. Dunker always goes opposite, and the diag you'd lift around to the drag. Right, give me a demo of that, ready? So everyone's playing every position again. Dunker, good, kick it to the drag, go, sprint. Good, all right, go back to the start. So I want you boys to play around with that now. Just go a few drives, see how we go, see if you can fix the problem. What was the one thing I always wanted you to yell out? Your what? Your positions. Okay, because if 4 of you yell at your correct position and the other one doesn't know where to get to, well then just refer to the 5 Ds and you'll figure it out. Ready? Go. Where are you getting to? Where are you getting to? Redrive, redrive. Hold there. Okay, so when we go back for me, it's all right. So if we get the ball's in the drift, ball's there. As the ball gets thrown, your play's closing out to you like this. So you're probably not going to go back this way. You're probably going to go through the elbow, right hand and attack. Okay, so going right hand through the elbow and attack the basket. Are you a lefty or a righty?
Right.
You sure? So you're going to go right hand here. So I want you to drive right hand. Sorry about putting on your left hand because defense will be this side of you, they'll get a steal. So it's getting to here, you would be a dunker, I can look at you, if not I might throw it out, turn where you're getting to, good, you'd lift up and I get to here. There you go, the extra pass and then same thing. We want to encourage athletes to come to jump stops in the key, not to jump the pass. A lot of turnovers happen when they jump the pass. When you jump in the air in the key, what must you do? 2 things, what must you do? Yeah, but what do you do? No, when you jump. If I come in here and I jump up in the air, what are the 2 things I have to do? Shoot it or pass. Okay? If you can't shoot it, you better be able to throw a good pass. Right? Do we understand that? There's a rule. You can jump, pass the ball. You can jump in here to make a pass. You can't jump to find a pass. If you jump to find a pass and everyone's denied, well, turnover. Right? We're okay with that. So we get into here, it's jump stops. We can pivot. If I need to pass, I can jump to pass it, not jump to find one. Right? Rewind, go back to the start. Go. Drive hard, go, attack. Where are we getting to? Where are we getting to? Good, extra pass. Good, nice. Keep going. Oh, there. So where do we get to? So common mistake, they'll kind of just dawdle around. It's either sprint outside the 3 or we get down to the dunker position, which is here. You 5 are going to play defense, so jump up. Back up, go back to the start. Pass the ball. Oh yeah, that's all right, stay there. Now, the reason why we want the dunker, who's on offense here? The reason why we want you starting here. So we call this the dead low. We want you starting low because of 2 things. One, if your defender drops back, ball's there, the wing, there's a lot of what here? A lot of space, okay? A lot of space. So that's why I want you low. Second reason is, if your defender doesn't drop back there, they will most likely take their eyes off you. So now when you drive middle, say, what are you going to do? You may look at if you don't go to the ball, that's fine. You might have a layup. You might be able to turn the corner for a layup. Otherwise, go back. If you drive and you help, then he's not going to get to the right spot and then you'll get a layup here. So that's why we want to play below the defense. This also sets you up for future when you play against zone. Learning to play further back, right? You boys ready? We're going to play 5-on-5. We'll see how crazy it gets. Ready? Go. Drive, receivers, receivers. Let's go again. Ready? Don't let him get a layup. Go. Attack, attack, attack. Fix it, keep going. Nice, good drive. Right, rewind back to here. Now let's say there's no drive. We don't have a drive, that's fine, because there'll be times where that will happen. We always want to go opposite the ball, opposite. So wherever the ball is, you want to go the opposite side to the dead low. Now if you lift up, I can pass it, and if you drive, excellent. If not, I might cut. Now if I cut this side, we need to fill those floor spots on the perimeter. So where would you go to? Good, where would you go to? Good, you'd stay here. Yeah. Right, and I can cut out. You right with that? Or I can cut to the ball side corner. So rewind. You have two options, you have two cuts. If I throw it that way, or if I throw it there, I can cut that way. If I throw it there, I can cut through to the ball side corner. And then if you drive middle, I'd become the drag. We've got our diag and drift and our dunker, wheeling underneath. Remember, when he goes high, you go low. When he goes low, you go high, right? Always go opposite each other, okay? Give us a demonstration. So if there's no drive, what do? Pass and? Good, get movement. So there's three underlying factors here. Ball movement, player movement, extra pass. Ball movement, player movement, extra pass. Ready? Go. Cut, cut. Where are you getting to? Reverse it. Good. Play. Try to score. Go. Keep going. Go opposite. Big. Receivers. Keep going, boys. Fix it. It's starting to get messy. You just got to encourage them to fix it. So you kind of cut it and you're like, oh, where do I go? Where do I go? Just sprint. Go opposite. Right? Ready? Go. Good, look to play. Go opposite, big, go opposite. All right, not too bad. I mean, they fixed it. That's the main thing. Now, if you ever get to a 5-out situation, which may happen, right? So 5 people outside the key. So you got corner, wing, top, wing, corner. Just get that for me. No defense. Actually, we'll go defense. That's all right. We can do defense. Let's say the ball gets to the wing, because we've got no dunker right now. We've got no 5. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. This is where there's a diver, so a 6 receiver spot. Okay. Now, depending on the team, you might have a different rule for the group you have. But let's say you drove. Let's try baseline for me. Now the diver will come from the weak side corner. So weak side corner, you'd dive, you'd get to the drift, I'd get to the diag, and you'd go drag. So we still end up with our 5 Ds eventually. We're just figuring out a different way to get into it. Okay? Now you might rewind. You might pass it, and you might have the wing person dive. So dive, stay drift, you get to where? Drive, no, just stick it right there. So now we've got our driver, drag, dunker, drift, and diag. Yes? So you boys got to learn how to fix it. Coaches can't always step on the court and fix the problem for you. Right, ready? Just start 4 out, 1 in. 4 out, 1 in, so give me 1 person inside. Now if you get to a 5-out situation, try to get our diver. Let's stay with the weak side corner. Yep, diving. Otherwise, we're in 4 out, 1 in, just get to our receivers. So you might stay in. The driver, when you come to a jump stop, you're dunker, and you would go where? Weak side corner. Excellent. Ready? Go. Good. Drive. Receivers, receivers. All right, go back. Not too bad. Good. Now, we always want to encourage extra passes, split kick extra. All right, so the ball's over there. obviously you had a drive, but we can throw that extra pass, and then it's a drive from here. So if I drive, you would drag in behind, you would get to where? Dunker. Remember, I go high, you go low. You're at the drift, you're at the diag. Okay? Let's go one more time. One more time.
Ball.
Right, not too bad. All right, boys, have a seat. Right, so what I just showed you then was pretty much the foundation of the offense. So you might put in whatever play you want to put in. You might put in UCLA, shuffle, flex, horns, whatever you might want to put in. But we always, with every team I have, I always revert to the 5 Ds if someone breaks out of the offense. Because eventually it's going to happen. At a point or at a stage, there's going to be someone that just kind of goes, oh, I've got to drive here. And then we have to ensure that everyone knows where to get to. Because when everyone is on the same page on offense, you have more of a chance of what? Scoring. All right? You have more of a chance of scoring when everyone's on the same page. So that's just some organised chaos there. Right? Because what ends up happening is someone just puts their head down, they go, and the other player's just got to move. And the 3 things I spoke about was player movement, ball movement, extra, pass. Okay, you've got to get those 3 things done on offense. Right? Any questions? I know it's a lot. I try to go through it as quick as possible. Any questions from the coaches? All right. Can you please put your hands together for the boys? Sorry.
The main things I think we haven't got into that area of the 5 Ds yet.
Yep.
Starting to break that out into it. I think it's that complexity of just getting used to being that
Yep.
4 spots.
So here's some drills that we do to build that up. So you might just have one person here, one person up with the ball. I need a partner on the weak side corner or the other corner. Oh, sorry, the other wing. So you just might play this receiver shooting. So you might drive baseline. You got to get to where? Drift. Pass it, shoot it. That's the drill. All right, you might go games either end. First team to 5, whatever shots. If you don't want to do 3-pointers, and I get that, stay outside the 3, then they can step in and shoot a long 2, like we worked on at the start of practice, how their footwork is. All right, then give me another player up. You might be the dunker down there. And try to build the game. So I know we never get 10 at practice. Well, I never ever get 10 at practice. There's always 9, there's always 8, there's always 7. So you got to play small-sided games. So you might have 3-on-3. So now when you drive, you got to get to the dunker, you got to get to where? Drift. And just build it that way. And then chuck them in different spots. You might have a player start at the corner and they drive from there. Don't always have it from the wing. So come back. This time you might start in the corner. Now when you drive, good, dunker, come back. That's 1, rewind. Drive middle, go underneath, and you might have that player lift or stay in the corner. Doesn't really matter, but just try to play small little games like this to build that. I have all this on a document, the 5 Ds, and I could send that to Lou, right? And then he can send it out to you. But that's what we're teaching, the 5 Ds. And if they just get a good understanding of that, then the next layer is, okay, let's add some offense. Because I think we, and myself included, I go, oh, I'm going to chuck in some offense because I saw a great team do it. And then we forget that they struggle to pick up the basics, just floor spots, right? Or receiver spots, we call that. Okay with that? All right, and then you might just go 2-on-2. You might have that player out, that player in, that player in. You might have a corner there. You might have a wing over there, and just teach them to play and get to those receiver spots. The other thing we do is we'll get tape and mark it on the court, or those little dots. You might have a D here, so corner, wing, corner, and the dunker spot. So whenever anyone drives, you got to get to that spot, and that will help with that, the visualization part of it. Anything?
I think when we played captain, right, I think a lot of the younger teams particularly, because it's all man to man, that's when you understand.
Yep.
What's the first thing the referee does? Or the opposing coach?
Zone.
Playing zone.
Yep.
So I think we've got to be mindful of telling our players to do.
Yep.
You know, you touched on it before. You just got to be able to move away from and play side of you win.
Yep, and it happens at all levels. We just went away for SCC, the Southern Cross Challenge, where we took an under 15 country team and under 15 metro team. We've got to choose a playing zone.
Yeah.
Well, not playing zone. It's just that's help defense. So one, other coaches need to know what a zone and man-to-man defense is. But two, yeah, make them active, make them engaged, because a lot of times they just stand there, and the first thing they'll do on any sort of drive is they'll help, because it's just something we've told them since under 12s, and we've just ingrained it in them. So if we can reverse that, where it's, no, instead of you going to help, now actually make a decision if you need to help. And that's where I think they'll just get so much better as a basketball player, because they're actually making decisions, and they're not just being robots, which is, at the end of the day, we want them to be basketball players. And how awesome is it when you play a game and you just see one of your players back cut and they get a pass for a layup, and you're like, oh, sweet. We don't practice that, but excellent. You're actually playing the game of basketball, all right? Very few times now players actually go out and play 3-on-3. Maybe not so much out in the regional areas as much, but I definitely know in the metro areas, because so many kids go to private schools, so many kids are involved in different teams, and they're all organised team practices. Very rarely do players actually go out and just play 2-on-2, 3-on-3 without a parent, coach, referee, and just learn to play the game, which I think they need to do more of, in my opinion. Pick up. Who plays here 3-on-3, boys? 1-on-1, 2-on-2? How often do you do that?
We just have that course of time.
Yeah, well, that's definitely part of it. Yeah. And the other thing I like to say is, who's probably the best shooter here? Okay. How often do you practice shooting a week?
2 times a day.
Okay. 2-3 times a day? For how long each time? Okay. That's pretty good, really. A lot of our players in SPP, who's our elite program, a lot of them train 2-3 times a week individually. So there was a player who just came to the Centre of Excellence in the NBA Academy. Now I'm talking about next level, but this is an idea of how much they train. He trained 8 hours a day shooting the ball. Shooting the ball alone, 8 hours a day. Do you think he's a good shooter? Yeah, okay? So if you want to be great at something, you've got to put time and effort in. The other thing I like to say is, if you practice 3 times a day for half an hour each time, roughly, let's say give or take, that's an hour and a half. What's the thing you do most in the game? Dribble, pass, or shoot? What do you do more? Dribble or shoot? Dribble? What do you do more? Pass or shoot? You shoot it more than you pass it? You wouldn't be a good teammate to play with. But you pass it more than you shoot it? Yeah? Then the question I usually ask is, well, how often do you practice your ball handling and passing? A lot of kids can't answer that because they don't practice ball handling or passing. But 5 minutes of ball handling equates to like 45 minutes of shooting, because you can do some ball handling in 5, you can work up a sweat in 5 minutes. But why would you practice the thing, why would you practice most the thing that you do least in the game? Because we all want to shoot it, right? But if you can't shoot, if you can't dribble or pass the ball, then you're not going to be able to shoot the ball, because your team can't get the ball over halfway. So you've got to be able to practice your ball handling and passing, as well as the other things. Who knows who Steve Kerr is? I'm sure you boys would know who Steve Kerr is. He's the coach of who? Golden State Warriors. What's the very first thing he did when he took over as Golden State Warriors? I wonder if anyone knows this. At practice. Very first thing he did. He did pivoting. Now, he did pivoting with people who earn more money than all of us put together. And that was a very basic fundamental skill. But he didn't do the pivoting that we taught players that learn to play, where they do this. Because in a game, when do you ever pivot like this? Never, right? So he did pivoting where it was actually a one-on-one component, where it'd start here. In order to play live in the game, you've got to give me 3 pivots, right? And when you pivot, ever see Kobe Bryant pivot and move the ball? He moves it from here, down, up, around. So you got to give me 3 pivots without me touching the ball. If I touch the ball, game over. So now when you pivot, I'll be able to try to touch it. So give me 3 pivots, right? And then when it's after 3 pivots, then we're live one-on-one. So you're actually teaching the pivot and then play one-on-one. And pivoting is very important. You can't pivot in basketball, you can't play basketball, right? So that's part of what we do. The other thing we do is if you drive, and if you've got pads and you can hit people, as you come to a jump stop here, and we work on our receivers. So if you just rewind out there for a sec, sorry. Up top, wing, I'd have a pad, right, the footy mats, right? As you drive, get to our receivers, come to a jump stop, that's fine, you get the drag. As he pivots, I'm going to hit him with the pad, just to get him used to that contact. Because most turnovers happen in this area. Because they come to a jump stop, defense steal the ball. They come to a jump stop, they're off balance, defense gets close, they turn the ball over. So most turnovers happen here. So come to a jump stop, and then as you pivot, give me 2 pivots, that's 1, and then 2, pass it, and then you can sprint to the dunker, and then you could drive. Same thing, drive in, come to a jump stop, get to our receivers, and I'm hitting with the pad. 1, 2, throw it out. And as they pivot, they might throw pass fakes. As they pivot, they might shot fakes. Right, so try to always incorporate, remember how we spoke about the 6 or the super 6, pivoting, passing, ball handling, right, decision making, shooting, and one-on-one D. Try to incorporate as many of those as you can in each drill you do. The most important one, I think, is the one-on-one component. Got to have a level of competition, because athletes just won't love it otherwise. Right, so anything you do, if it's shooting, compete against the clock, compete against themselves, got to make 3 in a row, whatever it might be. Then if it's drilling, always have offense and defense, but then you just might add 3-on-2 where there's an advantage-disadvantage element. Because if you go 3-on-3 against athletes who aren't as skilled, most of the time they struggle to score. But then if you go 3-on-2, and that's what the game is, the only time the game's ever 5-on-5 is at the jump ball. Pretty much after that, it's 5-on-4, 4-on-3, 5-on-2, whatever it might be, because there's fast breaks, there's everything happening. Right, so just try to get them in a situation where there's always advantage, disadvantage. And there was that time where we had this player's back to me, and then I drove. Remember how we worked on that one? This is an element of the basketball game right now. You're defending me, proper. I beat you, same thing. It's the same element. Got to make a decision. But I just did a different start to it. Anything else? Again, I apologise for just saying a lot. Trying to cover as much as I can in an hour and a half. Happy to have a chat about anything. Would love to. I have a lot of this on, I've got everything on Playbook where it's all drills diagrammed, so I can send it all out to you. 1,000 drills out there. If you look at our Facebook page, Sean Roger, our coach education manager, he puts up a lot of information about the new age coaching, right, and decision making and how to have that advantage, disadvantage, so he does a great job with that. All right, if we can please put our hands together for the players. Good job, boys. Have a seat. Awesome.
Well done.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.